Who has seen an advertisement that has convinced you that your microphone is listening to your conversations? All of your interactions, your credit card swipes, web searches, locations, likes, they're all collected in real time into $1 trillion a year industry.
The real game changer was Cambridge Analytica. They've worked for the Trump campaign and for the Brexit campaign. They started using information warfare.
Cambridge Analytica claimed to have 5,000 data points on every American voter.
I started tracking down all these Cambridge Analytica ex-employees.
Someone else that you should be calling to the committee is Brittany Kaiser.
Brittany Kaiser, once a key player inside Cambridge Analytica, casting herself as a whistleblower.
The reason why Google and Facebook are the most powerful companies in the world is because last year data surpassed oil in value. Data is the most valuable asset on Earth. We targeted those whose minds we thought we could change until they saw the world the way we wanted them to. I do know that their targeting tool was considered a weapon.
There is a possibility that the American public have been experimented on.
This is becoming a criminal matter. When people see the extent of the surveillance, I think they're going to be shocked.
And I still fear for your life.
Yeah.
With the powerful people that are involved.
But I can't keep quiet just because it'll make powerful people mad.
Data rights should be considered just fundamental rights.
This is about the integrity of our democracy. These platforms which were created to connect us have now been weaponized. It's impossible to know what is what, because nothing is what it seems.
You can't always tell everything that's going on right up front, because if you tell everything that's going on right up front, then your enemy is going to know exactly what you're doing.
I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
So yeah, we have a bigger issue than just Democrats. We have an issue of the American indoctrinated people that just let things like this go. It's been happening for years and years and years, and frankly, I'm sick of it. And so I'm just telling you, they're telling you, and they've been telling you this stuff in front of your face for a really long time.
Our own government working against us. I mean, we've always had the government working against us. We just didn't know it. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is April Lejeune, and I want to say hi to everybody in the audience. You know, this show's only an hour. Sometimes the subject matter is so in-depth that we could go on and on and on forever. So I'm going to try to keep this within a short, almost like an introduction. Now, over the years, I've had my YouTube channel for 8 years at least. And then there was a year where they had taken me off and now I'm back on. But in that area of time, we discussed, hi Felix, nice to see you. And we discussed how there was a silent coup that went on, that the administration, they were trying to take over America through the presidency with a rigged election. Okay. And they did actually, Carrie, I got it over there on Rumble. And I can get the Rumble stuff, by the way. So you guys are making comments on Rumble. I can see it. We were saying that they were taking over the government with putting players in place, rigging the election, all those kinds of things. That's what we were saying. And I do believe that's part of it. But I think that was only the first part of it. So what did they do? They decided, okay, what's the best way that we can take over America? Because if you watch things like Dinesh D'Souza's Hillary's America, you've watched all these other programs that have been out there about, you know, people call them conspiracy theories, but they're actually coming true. It's been over the entire history of our country that I don't even know what to call it. Evil forces, whatever, faceless people who you're never going to see trying to take down America. Because if you take down America, you can take down everybody. So that's just established. Everybody in the world who has any knowledge of any kind of government, anything, knows that. And so the America has always been a target. Why? Because it was free. You think you're free, but you're not free. So on that note, let's go back to Dinesh D'Souza's Hillary's America. So in that film, if you've never seen it, you need to see it. These are things that I'm telling you that you need to see because it puts things in perspective. And as you're watching it, if you have a brain in your head, which liberals don't, but if you do have a brain in your head, you can get what it's talking about. And you can maybe put the puzzle pieces together. So in that particular movie, Dinesh D'Souza has a portion in there where he's talking about Hillary Clinton, and Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals was about how you can basically take over societies. Now, whether he was talking about an entire nation or not, doesn't really matter. The rules for radicals were a certain way of how to take over areas and make them communist, socialist, whatever. I mean, all those things, all of those names, socialism, fascism, all that stuff leads to dictatorship. That should be a given for anyone studying history. You should know that. So that being said, Hillary Clinton in that movie, Dinesh D'Souza says Hillary Clinton took that Rules for Radicals and said, why are we doing this from the outside of the government? We should be doing this from the inside of the government. So what we need to do is we need to get elected. We need to start installing people in certain areas so that we can start doing all of these things as rules for radicals, but do it from inside rather than the outside, which has been quite effective, I might say. Now, obviously, there's a large portion of the United States of America who believes that that has happened. I mean, that's why Donald Trump is sitting in office right now. However, and they tried to do this coup, and it almost worked. And if Donald Trump wasn't elected, that probably would have happened. But how do we know that it's not happening now? Well, it is happening now, even with the Trump administration, because of technology. Now, Mark Dice did a video, I want to say a couple days ago, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was a couple days ago, about AI and how it's taking over. And this is true. It is the surveillance, which you just saw on that opening clip. It is the extreme invasion of surveillance in every aspect of your life, including your medical. It manipulates and tries to shape your thinking. We use it in every single aspect of our whole entire society. And through a series of experiments to see how people would react to things, they've been doing these experiments for years and years and years, right underneath your nose. They've made great entertainment out of it too, haven't they? This is really, I don't even know if we can go backwards. Let's just put it that way. I don't know that we are at a point of, one, realizing it, or two, being able to go back from where we are right now. Here is an article. I'm going to read this article to you. It is from, it looks like scimednet.org. It's called A Digital World Order. And that's where we are. A digital world order. You don't think so because you have actually grown up in a little box. So because you don't know what's outside that little box, you're not even aware that you are being manipulated every minute of every day, every second, every minute of every single day. And, you know, I am aware of it, but the problem is that the people around me are not aware of it. And because the people around me who are not aware of it, it forces you to have to deal with them in one way or another. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. So that being said, if you don't start local and you don't start with your own community to try to thwart and limit this digital technology that they try to put in front of you in the form of safety, that's the whole thing, is going to be safety. If you don't do this, like take a shot, then you are jeopardizing the entire community around it. Where do we hear that? If you do not allow the surveillance of our streets while you're going down the street with all the little cameras on all the little posts, every place you go, Walmart is hooked up with Homeland Security and has ties with one of the companies I'm going to be talking about in a minute. The hospitals, the technology in your pacemakers, how your clothes are made, every single thing, every aspect of your entire life has something to do with this technology, and it's not good. And we have lived in a world of super convenience. If you've ever gone to another country, ever outside of the United States, you would understand that this country has more convenience in it than any country I can even think of, except for maybe Dubai. I don't know. I haven't been to Dubai, but I'm just guessing because they got a lot of money. But still, it's technology. All of these things are surveilled constantly. So I want to read this thing to you, and I'm going to put it up on the screen, I think. Let me see if I can share this screen with you, because I want to make sure that you guys can see it. That is not it. Can I even see it? Maybe I can't see it. Maybe I'm just going to have to read it to you. I think I'm just going to have to read it to you because it's not coming up on there. Okay. Well, is it? Let me see. It's in its own little thing here. Nope, I'm just going to have to read it to you. Okay. So this is what it says. It's a digital world order, Stargate, Palantir, and the road to algorithmic authoritarianism. Hey, Auntie M. Nice to see you. We've moved from planning to implementation, and the 6 rails are being fused with increasingly capable computational, which is artificial intelligence. This fusion aims to create a world where governance is no longer reactive, but predictive, and human behavior is preemptively shaped by algorithmic decree. Now, in that video that I showed you before, that's exactly what it says, isn't it? This is how we shape people's behavior. And they don't do it all at once. Remember, they're in it for the long haul. At the heart of this transition rests the Stargate AI initiative, Palantir. You're going to hear that company's name over and over and over again, Palantir, and a host of other tech giants. Their collective mission, supported by the full arsenal of digital control, is to render democracy obsolete, which it pretty much is anyway, and replace it with a seamless, self-optimizing technocracy. Hi, Patty. See, here's the thing. Democracy isn't really what you want anyway. Because in a democracy, it is mob rule. And that means that if you have 100 people and 99 of them want to jump off the bridge and you don't want to, you've already agreed that whatever the majority decides, that you're going to do it. Yeah, democracy isn't even a thing. I don't even think it's something that should happen at all. I mean, it's one thing on a small scale where maybe you're in a committee of some people and you decide, hey, you know, majority's going to rule on this particular issue. But that should not be a blanket thing, especially for a country That is very, very dangerous because if, as you can see, if the Democrats are in charge, you're screwed. And that is not good. Any friend of Kevin Bacon is a friend of mine. Now that is a funny moniker. So that's somebody who just came in the room. So the recent announcement of Palantir's involvement in Ukraine offers a glimpse into this future. The company is not merely selling software, it is being embedded as a central auditing mechanism for the nation's reconstruction. See, this is how Palantir is getting involved in every single thing, aspect of everything around the entire world. And what's even worse with this Palantir issue is their CEO, Alex, I can't remember his last name off the top of my head. He is, wow, talk about evil. He literally said in an interview that it doesn't matter who gets in the way, and if death happens, you know, as long as they can progress, he doesn't really care. And I think that is so bad. Not only that, he said that their goal, Palantir's goal, is total dominance. He didn't say dominance of this market. I mean, sometimes when people have a business, they might say, you know, I'd like to dominate the market and, you know, make it the best brownies in the world. He is not talking about that. He is talking about total dominance where people absolutely are subjected to whatever it is they want them to do. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not appreciate anyone who is going to try to tell me what I can and cannot do. That's slavery. I realize we're in a sort of slavery right now, which is true. And how do I know this? Because we have uniformed street gangs out there that have little boxes on their shoulders that call stupid backup people who, with an IQ of a shoelace, coming out armed, who are supposed to enforce laws that have no idea what the law actually is and don't understand the Constitution. Because the Constitution, and then as soon as you say something about the Constitution, they're like, what are you, some kind of armchair lawyer? Or who do you think you are, a sovereign citizen? They say stuff like this all the time, and it's totally... It is totally beyond my comprehension how we can arm people like that who have put their hand on a Bible and sworn an oath to a constitution they totally despise. I think that might be grounds for firing. But see, that's what I'm saying. The people around me are so robotic in obeying whatever they're told that they don't understand what they're doing. They literally don't understand what they're doing. And for me, it's sickening because I do understand. And I'm like, I am oppressed because the other people don't get it. And that's not fair to me. Oh yeah, they're totally two-faced. Anytime the word progress is mentioned, it's basically like saying they are looking for communism. I know. And by the way, if you didn't know this, James Comey, go look it up, said something in an interview years ago about how he had in college, he was leaning towards communism. But the more he grew, whatever, he decided that maybe communism wasn't the way to go. And so he started leaning more towards the Republican Party. I thought, well, wait a minute. Anyone who has an ounce, just maybe 2 brain cells, rub them together like this, would understand communism shouldn't even be a thought process of anybody in a political or law enforcement background at all. Kathy says she saw that Dems already turned the Constitution into toilet paper. I know. Didn't Nancy Pelosi said that it's a fluid document? No, it's not. This is the BS that they try to feed people every single day. It's just totally ridiculous. It's AI platform, so that there's this software they're making. The company is not merely selling software; it is being embedded as a central auditing mechanism for the nation's reconstruction, the nation of Ukraine, which it's already here, so whatever. Its AI platforms are being used to oversee billions in aid, track procurement, and verify compliance with the complex web of reforms demanded by international donors. See, this is why I don't like people giving money in large sums, because they demand something for it all the time. I would rather have tons of small donors than one large donor who's going to try to tell me what to do. Palantir becomes the living embodiment of the system's audit and assurance rail, which certainly goes in line with what Alex, the CEO, said about total dominance. It is the digital inspector, the impartial judge that determines whether Ukraine is adhering to the script written in Brussels, Washington, and Basel. This transforms the nation from a sovereign state into a living laboratory. Do you want to be a lab rat? I'm just asking. We are worried about the Constitution when in Dearborn, Michigan, they have been praying in Sharia law. Yes, over 20 years. Now we have to pass laws to stop it. What? I know. See, this is where Christianity pisses me off, okay? Because Christians are so dumbed down. I mean, totally. It's one thing to understand that the Constitution is put there on purpose so that other people can't infringe on us, which means Dearborn, Michigan, and the installation of all the fraud, because that's what it is, who came over here through immigration fraud and took over an entire city of Dearborn, Michigan, where they're wailing in the morning. You know what I'm talking about. And that's infringing on the people who were there to begin with. That's unconstitutional. Yeah, that's true. Islam is not compatible with the USA. It's not. You cannot swear on a Bible that you do not agree with. And if the Constitution is based on biblical principle, which it is, there is no way that Islam or a person who is Islamic or adheres to that can even uphold the Constitution at all. And since that entire group of people is okay with lying, because you're supposed to be able to lie to the infidel, right? And don't they consider us the infidel? Yes, they do. It's our country. But they came here and now we're the infidel. So do you think that when Ilhan Omar gets up there and puts her hand on whatever she put it on and says those words, that she even means it? No. What about Rashida Tlaib? No. None of them can do it. None. Because that would go against their supposed. I mean, I don't really think that Ilhan Omar has any principles whatsoever. I don't. I mean, her whole thing is total destruction of America. So this is how we keep losing. No one has backbone. Well, no one has backbone to actually. I gotta put this over. Ilhan Omar put her hand on her brother. Oh, Canadian deplorable. Ice Ice Baby in the house. You guys are funny. But this is what I'm saying. They have, the first thing you do is you install people. You take over the voting system. Then you install people. And then those installed people do what they're told, which has allowed Palantir to get all these contracts, all these government contracts all over the place. Which, if you listen to anything that these guys are saying, because I have watched many videos with Alex and Peter Thiel, okay, of the things that they're saying. And there they are. Their agenda is total domination, and they are pretty much there. I would think that you would want to go to your local city council and ask them, excuse me, who has the contract with all these little surveillance cameras? Is this a third party, or does the feed come to the city? Are we the ones that have control of that? Because I know you don't. See, when I went to my election board, I didn't know when I asked them, what kind of software are we using for our voting system? I thought naively that they were going to tell me some good news, but they did not tell me good news. They told me that it was Unison Voting Solutions. And I thought, okay. Now, at that time, I didn't know anything. I was like, Unison Voting Solutions. Okay, look them up. Who owns Unison Voting Solutions? In 5 minutes, I found a link. China. But who's supplying the software? See what I'm saying? Just because it links to China. Do you think that Palantir is just in this one location and that they just do things from this one location and you can have a straight line to them every single? No. It's like BlackRock and Vanguard. Don't they have little fingers everywhere? And as soon as you start catching on, they'll close this one thing and they'll open this other thing and get another shell here and another shell there. And if you don't obey them, then they're going to throw you under the bus over here and say, we don't know anything that you're talking about. And here's how I know that. I just saw this other video, and I'm going to show it to you. Now, I would read the rest of it. Oh, well, let me read the rest of this first. It's not very long. Just this little part. This transforms the nation from a sovereign state into a living laboratory, a proof of concept for how a country can be managed by integrated data platforms and conditional financial flows. The successful pilot program is the template for managed reconstruction in Gaza and beyond. Yeah, this is a problem. Okay, I'm going to close that because I want to show you this video. We're going to go through this video a little bit. This is about somebody, this is about Palantir. Okay. And all I can say is totally unbelievable. It's just totally unbelievable, the things that are going on here. Oh, here it is. I was like, where is it? There it is. That's what I was afraid of. There's no sound on this video. All right. Well, it's a video that's talking about Palantir and the employees that work there. And they're talking about how they were working there, and then they noticed that a lot of the software programs and the programs that they were installing had something to do with extreme surveillance and war. Now, a lot of these lefties, I have to wonder about their mental capacity, but they sit there and they say stuff. I don't want to be involved in war. I don't want to be involved in things that have to do with war. I don't want to be building bombs. I don't want to be doing software that has anything to do with these things. I don't want to do any of that stuff. But while they're wearing the Make America Kind Again shirts, have you seen those? Make America Kind. They're smacking dolls of Donald Trump with as much anger as can be. And they will be more than happy to throw fists and burn things if you don't do what you're told. Marilyn, nice to see you. Yeah, my whole channel was off, for a long time. Yeah, they're total liars. So here's what we've been conditioned to do. I know they're so insane. You can't even talk to them. You can't even reason with them because they talk around in circles. And when you're trying to make a point so that maybe they'll have an epiphany, maybe they'll open their brain, maybe you'll be able to install a little nugget of wisdom in there, something, they totally shut down and start insulting you. So these are dangerous people. People who are dumb are probably the most dangerous people in the world, especially when you you weaponize them. This is what's been happening. And, I just don't understand. I don't understand why people keep following this stuff. So I'm going to show you this other video that I know has sound. And should I say that? I'm pretty sure it does. Yes.
I'm sorry, if you don't mind crossing here, that would be great. Thank
you.
We like to think of ourselves as independent and not easily bossed around. We take pride in the fact that we question things that are told to us and we question what people tell us to do. But how true is this really?
Some smart folk in the 70s showed that people were more likely to take orders from someone dressed in a policeman's uniform than someone dressed in normal clothes.
I'm going to assume the role of an authority figure. Got my serious jacket on, got my heels, high-vis jacket, clipboard. Will people be more likely to take orders from me in my uniform or in my normal clothes?
Give me your most authoritarian face.
Oh, you can't step on there. I'm sorry. You cannot step on this this area.
Why not?
It's not allowed.
Now, did you see she's in regular clothes and he was looking and he goes, why not? She's in her regular clothes.
Out at the moment. I'm sorry.
And the reason why?
Oh, I better get off there quickly if I were you. You can walk on the black line. That'd be great.
What?
Because we're keeping it free.
Oh,
thank you. Yeah, okay. That would be great. Hi, I'm sorry we've got...
Remember when I told you that we put a cone, an orange cone, on a parking space because we wanted to make sure that we could get that parking space later? And I told my dad, I said, I bet if we put an orange cone there, people won't park there. They'll think someone else put it there. Somebody with authority put it there. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
No standing policy on the bridge.
Really?
Yeah.
No standing.
No, so you've got to keep walking. That's okay. Yeah, got to keep walking, thanks. Yeah.
See, he's looking at her like, what in the heck? Which is what I would look at you anyway if you had a uniform on.
I'm sorry, sir. We have a no standing policy on the bridge.
Oh, actually, yeah.
No problem. Thank you. You can cross. Just hold on to the bridge. That's it.
Okay. You're not going to die.
Yeah, it's just a safety measure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll help you along. Thanks.
See, a safety measure in the name of safety. Make sure that you're holding on to the rail as you're going past and don't stop on the bridge. Why? Because she has a yellow vest on.
There was definitely more of an authority when I was wearing my high vis. A high vis is a powerful jacket. You can't stand here at the moment. If you mind moving to the side, that would be great. Yeah. Sorry, you can't stand here. People have to be moving.
Yeah, that's all right.
Thank you very much. Great. Sorry, we can't have prams go through the main area. If you just don't mind going down the side. Yeah. So we have a very strict backpack policy here. If you can just hold it in your hand, that would be great.
All right.
See, she's telling them something completely dumb. And they're not even questioning her. This is the indoctrination. And why is technology doing this? Because we have been conditioned. We've been conditioned in every single way. We watch people on YouTube. We watch all kinds of things, the entertainment, every single thing. And we think, oh, there might be surveillance here. What is she going to do if they don't do it? Oh, we could get arrested. She might have backup on her shoulder. All of these kinds of things is exactly what happens all the time. They don't know who's watching them. If she didn't have that yellow vest on, they're not going to do what she's telling them. She's telling them dumb stuff. Oh, we have a strict backpack policy here. You're going to have to take that off. She wasn't even standing there. And there was just a loudspeaker overhead that was saying dumb stuff to people. They would think that was okay too. Because they would go, okay, somebody's watching me. They see I have a backpack. No, it is just you happen to have a backpack. They had said something generic and you just happen to be the one doing it. That doesn't mean that you have to do anything that you're told, but this is what happens every day.
Thanks. I just have to check that everyone's got their backpacks off before you go.
Okay. What about this one? This one?
No.
You have to carry them?
Yes, you just have to pick them up. Are you with a friend?
No.
Oh, there's two of them. Do you mind picking one up? Just
Why?
you just pick one of them up.
I
it's
can't
fine.
pick them up. They're like 15 kg.
You can pick up 15 kg.
Okay, so which is the new dog-free zone then?
Just down there, it'll be good.
Okay, I'm just going to walk this way then.
Okay, thank you very much. There's a more sinister side to
zone.
this. Some people argue that unquestioning obedience to authority is the part of our nature that allows police states to flourish. In his now famous experiment from the 60s, Stanley Milgram got a shocking result. Some people, when given orders by an authority, are willing to go as far as seriously hurting or killing someone just because they're told to do so.
Yeah.
Sorry, you've got to walk in line, just going past here. Thank you very much. Yeah, great. Sorry, girls.
See, she's laughing because she knows it's so dumb. So these are the experiments that they did earlier on. How do we shape people's behavior to do something? And with these experiences, so no one asked why. Yeah, no one asked why. Nobody. They just kept doing it. There's another video that I have. Let me see. This is totally stupid too. Let me see if it's in here. No, it's not. So I can get it right here. This is totally ridiculous, but people were doing it. And I thought to myself, why are you people doing this? Why? Look.
Video should terrify you. She's part of an experiment, but she doesn't know it. You see, these people are in on it. So every single time they hear a beeping noise, they stand up. It only takes until about the third time before she folds and stands for no reason. Now here's where it gets really crazy.
3 times. It only took 3 times for her to comply.
One by one, each one of the people leave the room. And now she's all by herself. And the same beeping noise goes off, and look, she stands. Now they bring somebody new in that was not a participant. Remember, she wasn't a participant. She stands up. At first he ignores her. He asks why. She says everybody was doing it, so she thought she was supposed to. He doesn't quite understand what's going on, but look what he does. He stands. More new people come in, and they all start to stand as well. And remember, all of this started from some fake ass rule that made no sense. And this experiment is exactly why you should think for yourself. This is how bullshit spreads. One person does it, and then everybody else follows without asking any questions. Then it becomes a new normal. This is messed up because this is exactly how families pass down bad habits and how entire cultures can be built on lies. Critical thinking is so important because once you stop thinking, you're no longer living your life. You're just another sheep in the herd.
How did they take away everybody's agency to even do stuff on their own? They took over the education system. They took over the political system. They had to take over the voting system in order to be able to do that. The voting systems, they said, hey, guess what? We have this great thing. Instead of you guys doing ballots by hand and counting all that stuff. I mean, who wants to count all those ballots? We got some new software here, and you can just use the software, and that will count your ballots for you. So first it becomes one thing, then the other, then the other, then the other. And pretty soon, people like Palantir, that company who make these things, they do it little by little by little by little, invading more and more and more and more of your privacy until now we've got this full-blown surveillance stuff. And let me show you something, because this is really bad. This is really bad. People comply with cops all the time. All right. And cops are one of the worst ones. I think they're the worst offenders of all over this whole entire system. And the reason I say that is because they're armed. And they're not looking for bright people. When you fill out those forms to be part of the police department, this is so disturbing to me, because this is the only way that they can keep doing what they're doing is by the police and force. Because when people start catching on, like, let's say all the people in my audience catch on. Okay. They don't like that, because then that means you'll go out and you'll tell another 5, 10 people, hey, did you know this? Did you know that? Hey, nice industrial tech. Nice to see you. And then when all of that spreads, they no longer have authority. That's a problem for them. So they don't look for people who can think for themselves, who understand the Constitution. They have dumbed down the test enough so they can find the most compliant. That's all they're looking for, compliant. They're not looking for people who understand what their oath of office is. Compliant is the key. So what they've done is install themselves in every aspect of society. But as some of you should know, you're only as good as your enforcement. And the people are afraid to get hurt. I don't blame them. So Palantir, being the awesome company that it is, decided that they were going to make software and pitch it to police departments and cities all across the United States of America. And this all happened after 9/11. Because people want to be safe. You never know who's in your neighborhood. You gotta be safe. Okay? So they pitched it to them as a way to be able to keep their citizens safe. But what it is, it's a third party surveillance to see who's not complying with whatever it is that the power thinks should be. For example, if you're speeding down the road and there's nobody on it, are you really hurting anyone? No. No. But the traffic cam catches you, and the next thing you know, you've got a ticket in the mail. Or let's say they just want to know who you are. I have a friend who just the other day, and I know she's not listening right now, but I mean, even if she was, it wouldn't make any difference because I'm not going to say her name. She went on a trip for almost a month. She's been out doing some things, and she is a truth teller. She goes around doing all kinds of truth things, giving speeches and helping people and whatever. And she's been surveilled so heavily that now she has to have guards around her, counter guards, because the powers that be don't want her to speak. So she's got power guards around her. I don't know what to call them, power guards, but everywhere she goes, they already know she's there because they're watching her wherever she goes. Wherever she goes. She couldn't believe how much surveillance was on her over this last trip. It was over the top. It's not normal. It's like a movie almost. These are things that happen in reality, and they're only possible by surveillance. So these are the police departments that have Palantir software for sure. Okay. And they're the people you would think. New York City, the New York Police Department, Los Angeles Police Department, New Orleans Police Department. These people are not taking care of their own surveillance. This is the third party who's taking care. Where's that data going? They can see your license plates. They can trace you from one stoplight to the next stoplight, cleared back to your house. Chicago Police Department, that's kind of a given. Salt Lake City, Washington, D.C., San Diego. Here's Regional Fusion Center. Palantir's reach extends far beyond direct contracts through its use in intelligence and surveillance hubs known as fusion centers. This strategy grants access to numerous regional agencies at once. Northern California Regional Intelligence Center is one of them. Gave hundreds of police departments in California access to Palantir software through this center. Now think about your ID. Think about when you go somewhere and they scan your ID. Those are hooked up. to your DMV, which has Palantir software. So Palantir is once again collecting your data. So you were afraid of Mark Zuckerberg. You were afraid of Donald Trump. You were afraid of all these things, but you should have been afraid of Palantir. And don't think that Elon Musk is all that in a bag of chips. He and Peter Thiel are actually friends. Joint Regional Intelligence Center. And by the way, Palantir was involved in Doge. Just so you know. This center, which includes the LAPD and Long Beach Police Department, began using Palantir in 2009. Yeah, isn't that a problem? Absolutely it is. Connection to surveillance systems. Instead of operating a city surveillance network directly, Palantir's got them. Now, see, to me, that was a mockery. Oh, I know. Elon is, I don't know. And I'm actually broadcasting on X right now. He's probably like, I'm going to talk to her after this show. Palantir's got them. Platform connects and analyzes data collected from disparate surveillance and information, not desperate, and information systems. These systems can include, now see, this is why you need to ask your local city council, because the city council, the county commissioners are all approving this crap. Automatic license plate readers, DMV records, police body-worn cameras. They can access that. Crime and arrest data, private camera registries. This is what it's like. Do you understand when you register something, you're registering it to them? Subpoenaed social media data. By integrating and cross-referencing these various data streams, and this is public information, guys. I'm not reading you anything that's some kind of thing that is like you can't find it. Okay. By integrating and cross-referencing these various data systems, Palantir's platform enables law enforcement to build detailed profiles of individuals and map their relationships and movements. This approach creates a fluid web of intelligence and surveillance that is far more extensive than a typical city surveillance system. So when you think that the only thing that you're doing is, I'm just going to the store. Are you sure about that? I'm just going to get my food. Are you sure about that? Palantir is involved in every single aspect. It's in their technology is in the skies. When it comes to the chemtrails, when it comes to the cloud seeding, when it comes to all of these things, it's in that. It's in the DEW weapons. It's the mind should be boggled by the amount of technology that Palantir is in. And why is it collecting all this data? Why? They tell you right up front, total domination. That's what they want. And they want you to be compliant with whatever it is that they want you to do. So this thing that happened with COVID and all that was a loyalty ritual. I do think that, they're really in the lab creating things, releasing them. I do believe that there are biotech manipulated insects, things like that. I didn't think that before. I was like, I don't know, that seems far-fetched. But when you think about the manipulation of the chemical makeup of people and the amount of health problems that people have today, which they didn't have long ago, there is no way that this stuff can't be manipulated. There was an article in 2012, and I can't remember what the name of the article was and where it came from, but it was a scientific magazine, and I remember putting it on my show. And it said that it was about smart dust, and it was talking about how The nanoparticles from the smart dust, they, like from the chemtrails and all that kind of thing, they put them in the sky. It falls on the things like that are growing. It's in the fertilizer, it's in the water, it's all that stuff. And these nanoparticles grow into the thing like corn, wheat, stuff like that. And that data from the smart dust traces back to whoever put it there in the first place. It literally said, whoever puts it in, the data is going back. Okay, so what are these data centers doing? They're putting it in the cloud. Who owns the cloud? Where does that stuff go? It's going back to Palantir. Because they want to know what you're doing. They want to know how it affects you. They want to know all of the things that have to do with how they can control you. Why wouldn't there be? They have been making hybrids and doing gene manipulation since biblical Old Testament days. Why not now? I think they've been trying this stuff. Well, we didn't think it was, I mean, our society is just so blind. We're preoccupied with entertainment. We can't even get away from our phones now. And I believe that they're doing this on purpose because they're making a safety issue. I believe that they have installed certain people in certain places, like judges for sure. Absolutely judges. Because does it make sense that a judge would let someone who's a violent criminal out on the streets 39 times? I just saw the other day where another one was out 69 times or 96 times. 96 times a violent criminal out on the street. 96 times. Does it make any sense? Whether you're liberal or conservative at all. He who creates owns it. Yeah. So it doesn't make any sense that these judges would keep letting these people out. But why do they want to do that? They have to shape your behavior to do something. And shaping your behavior by allowing criminals to roam free is making it so you feel as if you've got to have your phone in your hand 24/7. Because whether you like it or not, let's say you're in your car, but you park your car and you leave your car and you go out somewhere else, you're going to take your phone with you. Yes, it's definitely conditioning. You provide the stimuli to shape the person's behavior or whatever. There's a book called Don't Shoot the Dog. Here it is, okay? This book called Don't Shoot the Dog. The Art of Teaching and Training. You provide the stimuli to condition the person to do what it is you want them to do. This is probably one of the best books in training that there is. This will tell you exactly what they're doing. So you can see what the condition is that the stimuli that they're putting in and what the condition and the response is supposed to be. I don't know why I was able to recognize the COVID deal right off the bat, but I was like, that doesn't sound right to me. Scientifically speaking, I am not a person who's a scientist at all. Okay. I don't even really like that kind of thing. I don't even really like the stuff that I do every day as far as legal stuff is concerned, but I do it out of necessity. But it was like, that doesn't even make sense to regular science. When they were telling you to put something over your face, when they were saying this, something about your immune system, I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, that doesn't make logical sense to the immune system. If the C, you know what I'm talking about, is destroyed in the light, because it said the first information, like 5 minutes, the sunlight destroys it. Okay, so that means that it's a very fragile thing. And so I don't need to worry about it. When it's exposed to sunlight, that means it's not going to be able to get to me very quickly. And the likelihood of me getting sick from someone else is pretty low in that regard. So it doesn't make sense for me to put something over my face to weaken my immune system on something that is fragile and going to die in just, I don't know, not very long. So why would I do that? And it doesn't make any sense to me. So I recognize it right off, and I'm watching people because one person did it. Other people did it because somebody said, some person in a suit stood up and said, you guys got to do this. Everybody did it. And then people were doing it and saying, well, I'm just trying to make the other people comfortable. Why do you try to make people comfortable doing stupid things? It makes no sense to me. So what Palantir is facilitating is the introduction of stimuli into society to shape your behavior so that you will rely on technology to do whatever it is you want to do. And the more we get integrated with AI, the less thinking you're going to do. That's what they're counting on. That's what they're hoping, that you guys will be so integrated with AI that you're going to be told what to do. But not only that, it's going to render one of the most controlling professions on earth obsolete. And that is law enforcement. Law enforcement, which includes judges, the whole judicial system, judges, attorneys, law enforcement. Because if there is no human interaction, there's no human that is going to be making a decision in that area, that means that there's no empathy. Because just like my guest said 2 weeks ago, technology is a series of ones and zeros and nothing more than that. It cannot feel, it cannot make actual decisions. It doesn't do those things. But we, because of the way it's been trained, think it has some kind of ability to be over us. So now that means that, okay, so here I am, I live off grid. Yeah, zombies with phones. Yeah, training them. So here I am, I live off grid, and I'm thinking, you know, at first I'm like, this is good, you know, because they're going to do stuff in the city first before they even come over here. Okay, well, are they? I don't know. Will it be all at the same time? I don't know. Could it be all at the same time? Yep. Why? Because if we have drones and we have robots and we have smart things flying around, I would say what they are, but then I might get banned. Then that means that anything that I have on the perimeter doesn't matter because the sky is still open. That means that while they're going over my house without my consent, doing chemtrails, they're contaminating my water. I now have plants. Let me tell you, my garden, my plants grew really, really tall with no fruit. And those were heirloom. No fruit. So my point to you today is the American coup is not Hillary Clinton. It is not any political figure. It is technology that is actually taken over every aspect of our society. All of the decisions that are being made. You think those Congress people are making decisions? No. You think that that anyone in any political position is making a decision? They're not. Technology is going to be what's making all of our decisions. And that's the real coup. If you can push back and get rid of all would be better, technology out of your life as much as you possibly can. I realize that I'm on YouTube. I get it. But I don't have any other way to spread a message of getting your life together and trying to control the technology that's trying to control you. And that's the whole point. Don't let technology take over. It's neurotechnology. You hear anything like that, anything that has anything to do with technology, you're going to have to really, really think about it. Because the whole goal is to take over America and take over the world. And like Palantir says, total world domination. That's their goal.
shadows.